Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be the next video in my TAPP Airsoft series, and it's going to feature this bad boy. The VFC built effectively SIG Sauer. It's the M17 that I have, but this will work for the M17 or the M18, and this is going to be to do with this, an HPA adapter from TAPP Airsoft. So, this is why it's the TAPP kind of version. As you may have seen on the channel, TAPP actually sent me, you can see there as well, hold on, SIG 18. It's gonna say if I can actually block my face so it focuses on that. Hello. Yeah, anyway, it says SIG 18 here. I don't know why that's not doing it. It likes my face a lot more than it likes looking at this adapter, and actually probably the better thing to do would be to do this. So you can see SIG M18 there. I do like how TAPP do that, where they basically put the name of each adapter on the thing in the 3D print so that I can actually tell which one it is. These are about $170, I think. Let me just see exactly the price of these. Mostly that's kind of where their adapter kind of prices are. You can get like different colors of these. You can get, let's see which one. This is the MP5 adapter. So actually this one is $109, it looks like. Okay, that's actually for the shot shell version, but it's going to be around $110. You can get different versions of this where they are actually built for different kind of things. So you can get a shot shell version, which is going to put like shotgun shells in here. You can get ARP9 versions. So depending on what magazines you already have, you can run these. Now, I've done kind of like a video on these adapters before, so I'm going to do this as a shorter video, just talking through how it works with my M17. But, you know, hopefully you guys can go back to the one I did on the KCO2. I did a couple of different adapters on that, the MP5 and the shot shell. And, you know, if you want a more in-depth detail one, just go to the channel, look up that TAPP Airsoft adapter for that. The issue that I have with this specific replica, and a lot of people do, is the gas capacity. So the actual gas in this magazine, for some reason, these are bad magazines. A lot of the time, they won't be that consistent, and actually they won't even finish a magazine with the amount of gas you put in there, or I won't get bolt hold back, which for me is really a really annoying thing. You're not going to get bolt hold back with an HPA adapter, but if I'm running like a very low capacity gas blowback magazine that's very expensive, I really want the bolt hold back so that I can do like a reload, remove, oh, not like that. If I've got an empty mag, you know, actually like pull the mag out, put a new one in, release, and then I'm good to go. Where I don't get that with this. You are going to have different variations of like what the FPS is going to be with this, because you can turn it up and down on the actual tank. So I really like that I can kind of, I'm not going to get bolt hold back, but I could take this, and these pistols are pretty solidly built from VFC, but I could, if I want to put a suppressor on it and put an extended barrel in it, you know, it might look a bit weird to some people having, I'll show you what it looks like here. I'm going to push this in and then just do this. That's what it's going to look like. And then if I'm running an MP5 mag in the bottom of it, that's what it's looking like, kind of like your high capper for a lot of people. You know, it's going to be slightly longer in the base than it is on the barrel. But this basically allows me to take this pistol, if I want to run it just there on my side, I can then, you know, if this doesn't get in the way too much, I could basically have this as a primary. And so most people cannot run a, like a pistol. I'm just gonna do a little adjustment here. I'm gonna come down here. This is my camera adjustment. You know, like we have technical issues, but this is more of a discussion channel, so hopefully that's not an issue. Yeah, it basically allows me to run this as a primary if I want to. I know a lot of guys do that with high cappers. They kind of have that speed soft thing where they'll run like an M4 mag in here. You can get a version which will run an M4 mag. But TAPP Airsoft reached out, they sent me a load of free adapters, and I've got a SIG M17, so I said, hey, I'd love it if you just sent me one of these so I can test it out. So what I'm going to do in this video is quickly show you obviously this and how it works. Basically, it's just going to go in like a regular mag, and I'm going to have this little tab here to remove. So when I run out of a magazine, you can run full length MP5 mags if you want. It's going to be very, very long. But I like running these mini MP5 mags. I think they're around 60 round capacity. So it allows me, instead of having this like 28 to 30 round capacity, I can carry a ton of these little things anywhere that I want, and they're very cheap and they will have double the capacity. So big advantages are, as I've kind of said, is you can vary that FPS. The other thing is you're not going to get the consistency drop off. Like with this thing, it's going to go from being a liquid gas, which it is, or a liquid like form of gas, which is this guy here. It's going to fire hot, well not hot, it's going to fire like full power to start with, and that's going to drop off as the gas runs down and the mag gets colder. With an HPA tank, it's high pressure air, so it's not getting cold and it's not cooling down the actual replica. So for me, that's a big advantage. Obviously, as I've said, the mag capacity is another one. And so I could effectively, you know, run this in a completely different way, whereas this, you know, it's very limited. So I don't know how much I would run this as an HPA adapter. I do it for my primaries a lot more. And obviously I keep the recoil, which is the big thing. But I'm going to test this out. It may actually be a member giveaway. So if you are a member and you'd like to get this, definitely put it in the comments below. But what I'm going to do is quickly just show you an FPS reading of what this looks like in the regular gas mag, and then we'll do some shots with this and you can kind of see the difference. So I'll fill up this mag quickly. This one has got an inlet valve on the back. I'm going to fill that up. Shouldn't take too much. It's fairly warm here today. Obviously this is a freshly filled mag. What I hate about these mags is this follower, like the actual... Oh, I've stalled it. Okay, that camera's gone down apparently. So this actual follower is very hard to just put down. If you don't have a nail, you really are going to struggle getting it down. But what I do have is a speed loader, which right now I can't see where it is. Here it is. I've got a speed loader which will fill BBs in here. You can basically fill them in the bottom right here. And I've decided again in this video to go for 0.2s. These, I'll fill this up so we can do a full mag. 0.2s are not what I would run in this. I probably use 0.32s, but the ability to just record it, you know, like most actual mags you're going to see, most sites are going to record the FPS limit at 0.2s, and then they'll kind of like convert it from there. This normally would be like a, you know, up to 400. Often pistols are going to be firing a lot lighter, so that's why you can use them in close quarters. So we'll see how this fires, or like what the actual FPS reading is on it. I'll give you an idea quickly just of what this is like. I'm going to do a little quickly so it'll follow me, but this is, it's got a good kind of recoil on it. It's got a really nice sound, this pistol, I find. Like, I just really like the sound it makes. So now I'm just going to turn on this Chrono. So this Chrono is going to give us an FPS reading, and that is 330, which I'd say is perfect. 330, 328, 330, 330, 323, 327, 329. Okay, and then we're getting 328, 329, 328, 326, 326, 326, 322, 323. Okay, I'm insanely impressed with that. I don't know why, because it hasn't done that before, but that literally had a variation of like 5. And I don't think you're even going to get that on an HPA, and it got the bolt holdback. So the slide holdback. I don't know why this is now doing this. In fact, let's do another little run of it, because I'm kind of like very shocked by that. Like the variation, you know, it's firing kind of perfectly at that 330 mark for a pistol. And I'm just really, really shocked by that. So let's do it again. Like, I love that. I can kind of do the release there, and we'll keep doing it on the Chrono. Oh, I think I've just switched that over. So we'll go with a, okay, we're going there. 324, 333, 332, 334, 331, 323, 326, 326, 320, 323, 319, 320, 323, 322, 319. Okay, you're seeing a drop off here. 319, 317, 317. Again, guys, I'm really shocked by it. I don't know what's happened here. Anyway, that is where it's firing consistency wise. Normally I'd have expected that to drop right down to like 290. But for some reason today, you know, it may turn into a review about this pistol that actually it's like the complete opposite of what I've experienced. Now, what we're going to do is put this in here. What I do like is that these MP5 mags are a lot easier to fill. So all I need to do here is just push this through. So we'll put quite a few BBs in there, just so then we've got quite a few to go through. What I'm then gonna do is put this into here. I'm actually gonna just pull the action back before I put it in. That's going straight in now. That was a little bit tight, and that's sometimes what you can get is like they can be tight to start with, and then they kind of like work in as they're kind of getting, you know, putting in and out of that mag well. What I've got here actually again is the TAPP Airsoft bag that they sent me. So this is kind of designed for HPA tanks. I've got it upside down. Designed for HPA tanks. It's got like a little mesh thing here, which means that I can store it in. I've actually got this turned at about 100 PSI, so not kind of huge. If you're not used to HPA, this is actually only a 24, what is this, a 26 cubic inch tank. It's kind of heavy. You could run a bigger carbon fiber tank. I've got those, but actually they've not got enough air in them. This has got right now got about 2000 PSI in here, and it's running here at about 100 PSI. So 100 PSI on the regulator. You need a regulator with the tank and then an airline. Again, in the last video, I went through that in a bit more detail. But that basically means that I can put this on my back right here, which I'm going to do to show you. I've got my airline here, and then I can put this airline straight on here. So I'm basically just going to take the male line and connect it to the female line, and then I can change these out as much as I want, and I've got kind of like unlimited gas now from here, instead of the gas source being in that small little container. I'm gonna turn this on now. I'm gonna do a couple of shots just to show you what it's like. I haven't actually tested the PSI on this and kind of what level it would be. So we're more looking at consistency, because as I said, I can turn the PSI up on the regulator if I want to, or kind of keep it where it's at, or reduce it if I'm playing kind of like closer range. So where are my eye protection? I'm gonna put this straight in here, so that you can hear the BBs just kind of like went straight up into it. And now the first one won't have a BB. And then, oh, I think actually I don't have enough BBs in here. Yep. For some reason that didn't actually load up. Or actually, no, it did. It's just gone the whole way up there. So effectively I've got like 2 mag capacity. It's always gonna drop that first couple as you remove the mag. So that's just something to bear in mind. And just make sure, like after that first mag, when that is kind of like filled up in there, that's basically gonna mean that that's always in there. And you're just then gonna basically re-top up each time. So this is, right, so there you can see, that is kind of giving me that power. In terms of the consistency, we got 336, 336, 339, 340, 342, 340, 335, 343, 339, 336, 340, 340, 343, 4341, 338, 343, 340, 334, 339, 339, 340, 335, 337, 340. So I'm just going to finish this up. Okay, so that's that mag now empty. I'm going to have 2 drop out, and then I'm going to remove this here, fire off the action, and then remove that from the top. So guys, that basically shows you the consistency there. We were kind of maybe like 10 around, and it's not going to drop off down to that 319 level that the other one did on that mag. As I said, I'm really shocked by that. It's definitely not the experience that I've had so far with this pistol. So maybe something's happened in this where it's just got more consistent. But I was really, really shocked and surprised by the level at which that was performing. So maybe I need to do another review on this and kind of go through it in a different way. That basically has now meant that that air tank, I can just run and run and run. I can carry like 10, 15 of these and I'm all good. And so if you guys are looking at an HPA adapter, as I said, TAPP have sent me this for free. I'm not trying to give any biased review here, but just so you're aware, like full disclosure, they've sent that to me for free. So if you're looking to get one, just go to tappairsoft.com. I will put a link down below to this specific one, but actually I'll put a link down below to the SIG Sauer M17, M18 page, so you can decide what you want, but you can take, you know, like a 200 round EPM and then just run that on that. And if you're playing indoors and you kind of want something a little bit closer range, a very short barrel, you don't need the actual like accuracy at range, then you could run this quite easily. You could put the suppressor on, have a longer barrel, as I said. Like the possibilities are endless. You just buy a couple of these with whatever AEG mags you have, and then you need a tank, obviously a regulator. But as soon as you have that, you're kind of set up. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. There will be more on these kind of like TAPP adapters. I've got a few others like the Mark 23, so I'm going to be doing those very shortly, and a couple of other pieces of kit, and I hope to see you guys all soon. A subscribe would be amazing. Speak soon. Goodbye.